The legacy of labor leader Bob White.
Don't ever accuse me of betraying the membership, my friend.
He made history by standing up for Canadians.
He had courage, he had conviction.
A towering figure of the Canadian labor movement has died. Bob White was a charismatic, sometimes cantankerous union leader. And when it came to organized labor in this country, his motto could easily have been Canada First. Fez Jamil has more on White's life and legacy.
I went through this with Chrysler and the goddamn plants.
Bob White was known as a leader and firebrand in Canada's labor movement.
I may get gray hair, but I'll get gray hair fighting the goddamn corporation before.
Born in Northern Ireland in 1935, White later moved to Woodstock, Ontario. Working at a humble woodworking plant at age 15, White got involved in a labor strike there within his first year on the job. That started his rise through the union ranks, eventually becoming the Canadian director of the United Auto Workers. Years later, in 1984, he fought to split off the Canadian branch to form the Canadian Auto Workers, or CAW, feeling the needs of Canadian workers were being ignored by the larger American branch. That battle cemented White's place as a juggernaut in Canada's labor movement.
He was really the best Canada ever produced as it relates to a labor leader. He led fights that people didn't believe that he would win.
A fierce opponent of free trade with the U.S.,
Giving up a tremendous part of our sovereignty.
White went on to be elected to the head of the Canadian Labour Congress.
His vision was one of equality, where women had the same opportunities and the same ability to advance as men, and people of color were equally able to advance.
Even those who ended up at odds with White say they never stopped admiring the man, including former Ontario Premier Bob Rae, who famously butted heads with White over the forced days off of civil servants.
He disagreed strongly with me, and I disagreed with him, and we had vigorous debates. But we never lost respect for each other, and certainly never lost affection for each other.
The union he founded has become the largest private sector union in the country.
I am committed to try and help the working people in Canada get a better political, a better economic standard of living, and yet try and do it intelligently and carry the respect of our union public if that's possible.
White was 81. Fez Jamil, CBC News, Toronto.